Hey, Steve Cortica here, and I wanted to share a way that I like to practice tunes. It's worked wonders for me over the years, and it really helped make me understand how to connect lines together better over a chord progression. Not only to do that, but it helped me to understand how to play in a very motivic way while also internalizing vocabulary. What this allows you to do is essentially learn an entire chord progression using melodic information. Let's take, for example, this piece of vocabulary. This is something that I commonly play over a major 7th chord. The first thing that I like to do when I'm trying to learn a new piece of language is to just learn it in all 12 keys. So taking this idea, going through all 12. The next step, which has been really helpful for me to learn and internalize tunes, is to take that piece of information and then put it into a chord progression. I'm going to use the tune 4 in this video because the tune will jump around harmonically in some unusual ways. Taking a piece of information and playing it over those 8 bars is really going to help play motivically and tie a nice idea together over that part of the tune and carry it throughout the rest of the chord progression. So for the first 2 bars, we have F major 7. Then I'm going to take that idea and adapt it to the chord in the 3rd bar, which is F minor 7 on tenor. So let's hear what that all sounds like put together, those 4 bars. And because this is a 2-5 in measures 3 and 4, we can apply this idea to either the 2 chord or the 5 chord. In this situation, we're applying it to the 2 chord. Let's hear just what it would sound like over the 5 chord. So let's hear what those 4 bars will sound like when I'm playing the idea off of the 5 chord. So both of these scenarios will work, and you kind of have that option to play either one because this is a 2-bar idea, and especially in a situation where you have a 2 and a 5 chord, it's player's choice. You can either play off of the 2 chord or off of the 5 chord, and you're going to be playing solid harmony for that part of the chord progression. So let's look at the 5th bar. This is a minor 2 chord, and it's up 1 step from the original idea. So we're going to have to flat the 7th and the 3rd of that idea so that they fit with the G minor 7 sound. Looking at bars 7 and 8, we have another 2-5 here, and we have the same situation that we did in bars 3 and 4. We can either play it off of the 2 chord or we can play it off of the 5 chord. So if we're playing off of the B flat minor 7th chord, we're going to start on that flat 7th. If we're playing it off of the E flat 7th, we're going to be starting on the flat 7th again, but adapting the idea to fit a dominant 7th chord. Flat 7th of E flat is D flat. So you can hear it's definitely a different sound whether you're playing off of the 2 or the 5 chord. Both are going to work and be just great information to play over those parts of the chord progression. So here what I like to do when I've gotten 8 bars conceptually down and I understand how to put the information into the chords for, say, 4 measures or 8 measures of music, I like to take the notes away and see if I can recall the idea just looking at the slash chords. This is where improvisation starts to come into play, and this is where you start to use your musical memory and your ability to visualize the things that you want to hear when you play. Looking at these slash chords for F major 7, let's see if we can recall that idea. Remember, the idea starts on the major 7th and it jumps down to the 5th. Let's see if we can fill out what that idea is while looking at the chord symbol. Looking at the next chord, F minor 7. Or B flat 7. So remember, you're going to want to play one idea or the other idea for that 2 measure segment. There's not enough beats in those 2 bars to actually play both ideas unless you play them as like a double time idea. Looking at measure 5, remember we're starting on the flat 7th because this is a minor 7th chord. Looking at this B flat minor 7, we have a flat 7, so we're thinking of that first note, the flat 7th, and that'll give us the first note of the idea. Or if we're starting on that E flat 7, the 5 of that 2-5, we're going to be thinking of a D flat. So let's see what we have so far. Putting all 8 measures together, let's run this idea through those 8 measures. So if you're able to complete this process with 1 or 2 different pieces of information, you're going to be in such a great place to start improvising off of those ideas over the chord progression. I'm going to take this idea and improvise off of it for the first 8 measures, and I'm going to do 2 passes of those 8 measures. And now that you know what the idea is, see if you can listen and instantly transcribe what I'm playing. So there, I'm taking the same idea but adapting the rhythm in a way that kind of disguises the idea and makes it sound like you're not repeating the exact same material over every chord. Getting the idea down in a very mechanical way is an important first part of this process, but once you have that happening, you can really start to experiment with things that you start to hear naturally as you're repeating this process. I'm going to do one more pass through the changes and not only improvise with the rhythms of the idea, but start to improvise with things that I'm naturally starting to hear in my head. So hopefully you can start to see where this is all heading. If you take the time to internalize a small piece of information and really explore all the things that you can do with it over these chord changes, this is why we call it playing changes, because naturally there's going to be changes that are occurring within a chord progression. By taking the same idea and pointing out exactly what those changes are, you provide a very colorful listening experience for anybody who's listening to you improvise, whether it's the other musicians on stage with you or the audience. If you want the full course download of this exercise, check out my free course on my member site. All you have to do is go to my site, log in, and the course is there for you to take. It's not going to be free forever, so make sure you get over there and grab it. There's some other great information there about developing your sound and playing long tones, as well as learning things in all 12 keys and a variety of ways to practice diatonic patterns. Drop a comment in the comment section if this is something that you've tried in the past, and if you're able to play this exercise while looking at the chord changes, let us know how it has affected your improvisations over the chord progression to 4. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video.